Hello, hi, and welcome. I am Kozan Hussein, Managing Director of Trimillion. Right now, Virgin Galactic is preparing to take its first passengers into space. It is estimated that by 2050, you would be able to travel from London to Sydney, not in 22 hours that it takes today, but in only 4 hours. And that includes the journey time as well, the waiting to actually do the flight and coming back. This is quite an amazing thing. Right now, we are building the infrastructure for tomorrow's economy. It always amazes me how when I watch Star Trek, it says like in the future, the economic situation is different. We're all working to progress humanity. And this is an important concept because if you look at Apple, Apple has done exactly like what we see in Star Trek, touch screen, you've got your mobile phone and things like that. So amazing things are happening, and Trimillion and you are at the forefront of making this happen. Now we are 6 months old. It's quite amazing where we've come. We started off with a simple idea, and 6 months later, we've got 3 devices here, and we're progressing. you know how it works is, you start off with your GPU. No, this is not a GPU, this is a very old graphics card, but you start off with your GPU and you mine, and how the LBTC system, let's get it together. LBTC system, the London Bitcoin Bank system, works is you come in with your GPU and you mine, and after your first month, once you've earned your earnings, then you start to get the benefits of being put on the all list, which is on one of these devices, and it cycles through, and then you earn extra. So not only are you mining, you're also getting the benefit of what we mine for you 24 hours a day, or as close as possible. From there, if you get selected, then you get onto another device, which is the financial unplugging list. And these devices are growing and growing. It's quite amazing that we started with nothing, but coming together and simulating the bigger devices has enabled us to get these devices, which is further benefiting the teams. So this is where we are and what we've accomplished. We've gotten together, and everyone gets together, and we produce something more than what we have. you know but there is some controversies with this. We had the races on, and Boris won the races on, and at that time when we set this competition, we had a clear route to getting these devices, and this was the main aspect with seeding, at least at this stage. And what's ended up happening is we don't have access to devices. So what we've done is we've used these devices to make the basic framework of where we'll expand to. So the all list, financial unplugging list, a cornerstone list, etc. So by doing all of these systems, we're able to do the bigger picture, but right now. So what's happening with seeding? Seeding has paused for now until we know better what's happening. Like, for example, what it looks like is next year we may go with getting contracts with data centers where they mine for us, and we end up distributing that money between everyone exactly as the same rules as we've always been going. So this shouldn't be a concern. The main principle of the London Bitcoin Bank is that end result where we can financially unplug you, where you can say, that house is functioning on a different system. That system is based on mining, and we're going to see how it turns out. The main thing is we want to experiment with financially unplugging you. So we have to look at the best way to take that forward for everyone. Boris will get seeded, as well as everyone else who gets onto financial unplugging will have some form of seeding. Right now, the financial unplugging list, which is one of these devices, ends up mining, and Boris is on it right now, so he ends up getting all the benefit of that list. We're gonna select someone in December this month, and also we're looking to select a new person each month. And the whole principle with that is the eternal principle, where once you've invested that time, you've done your mining and you've got selected for financial unplugging, then you can unplug your GPU, or you can still continue to participate. It's totally up to you. But once you get to that stage, you are free to turn off your GPU, and we will mine for you as long as these devices work, as long as we're building up. And that is the main thing, to be able to get to the financial unplugging phase. And I want everyone to be focused on this point so we can go forward. Okay, so 2014, what could 2014 look like? When I look at Bitcoins, this year, 2013, is exactly like the internet in 1995. And what happened in 1995, if anyone can remember back then, the internet suddenly did a big explosion. All the press was speaking about it, and it was a brand new thing, and everyone was starting to look at what can we do with it. And the internet has changed so much, over the last decade. We've got places like Facebook and Web 2.0. The internet's really transformed into, yeah, we can understand where this is going, what we can do with it. But in 95, all of these things was just, we didn't know about it. We didn't understand where it would lead to. And Bitcoins today is like 1995. This technology has just taken root. A lot of media attention is happening. I'm sure a lot of you would have heard the news, things coming up, good and bad. And these things are helping to propel Bitcoins forward. And we have to always remember, if you look at the project right now in December, we're working on a test phase with configuration 2. And most of you understand how we've been working at the London Bitcoin Bank, but configuration 2 aims to improve on your earnings with your GPU. And we will always have this. We will find, we've come to a limit with GPUs, we'll find a better solution. So we'll always consider these options so that the project can continue. Because if you look at a lot of big businesses, I've always said we want to make Trimillion a very big multi-million pound company. And in turn, whoever helps make that happen, you get highly blessed, and we give you shares as proportional of what you've done. Already I've said that for cornerstones, I will be giving initially $1,000 worth of shares in the company, and on top you'll get 9,000 extra. So in total, $10,000 worth of shares for being a cornerstone. That helps in the long term. It helps if you think we can be successful and you've got spare time, you can put in that time. Then as a return, you get shares in the company. So on our success, it's your success. That doesn't apply to everyone. It mainly applies to cornerstones, and it applies to other people in other sections of Trimillion. So we want to succeed, and we want to succeed together. You see, if you start with your GPU, you come in with your GPU. If you try to do it by yourself, what you'll find is over time, this technology produces less and less and less and less, and then that leaves you needing to get thousands of dollars just to keep up. So instead of that, the LBTC system is so amazing that you can start off with your GPU, and then gradually as this is going down, you've got this supporting you, and even, you know, gradually improving to more and more, and overall it keeps propelling until we get you to financial unplugging. Can we get you to financial unplugging? It is truly possible. You know, if we have enough power in the system, we will be able to unplug you. You know, it's as simple as that. From profits, we buy equipment. All of this is a testament of we have done it, we can do it. If we've reached this stage, we can reach the full unplugging phase, but it requires a commitment from everyone. You know, every part is important, from the GPU teams to the cornerstones to try a million organizing it. You know, it isn't an easy route, but it is fully possible, as long as everyone's doing their bit to make sure it happens. I want to thank a few people. In fact, I want to thank everyone. You know, Try Million's been going for a while, and our main focus has been content production, you know, articles and things like that. We have done software and a few other things. But 2011 became quite an amazing time for Try Million. You know, we stumbled across Bitcoins, and we looked at it and we saw a good potential here. It changed from what it did years ago, where it could have been classed as a virtual currency. Today, I rather call it a digital currency. You know, it's worth billions. Bitcoins are getting worth more and more, and there's more interest. And as miners, our interest is purely on everyone using it. If everyone uses it, it's like having a bank, really. You know, you would be processing transactions, and transactional income will be more than what we're seeing right now, which is essentially mining new gold or new bitcoins. 2014 should also show us more companies looking to utilize bitcoins, new services coming out, and new ways to use it. Already we've been considering a donation society and things like that, where you know, a society may move more towards a donation system. So you go online and you read an article, and instead of paying a subscription or whatever, you send them some bitcoins, and it may be a normal thing for us to do in the future. So not only are we focused on the miners and building this infrastructure, we're also focused on providing the ways and means so that this technology can be used around the world. I want to thank everyone from the cornerstones, such as Jenna, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Gereville, who loves mining. I know you love mining, mate. Um, Thomas, for doing graphics and things. Peter, who we haven't often seen around, but he's been around. He's our Bitcoin advisor, and he's a very good person, even though he's not fully part of the London Bitcoin Bank in mining or day-to-day things such as everyone else. If it wasn't for each of you, this project can't happen. You know, we can't succeed any other way. You know, most people with their old models, they think to themselves, by myself. And when we looked at this technology, originally we approached it exactly the same as everyone else does, by ourselves. And when we looked at it, that's not where the benefit is. The benefit is by getting together, we can all bring what we have available, whether on my side it is time, or the company's resources to organize it and make it all possible, on your end, the equipment. You know, most companies, when they're looking to make a big company, what they end up doing is they're going and they're getting big finance, and they end up producing this thing, and the only people who benefits is those who put in that big money. The LBTC system is different in that all you need to come to the table is a GPU. Yeah, this isn't a GPU, it's a very old graphics card, but it serves the purpose. Okay, so all you need is your GPU, and your GPU is like you being an investor. So by you investing your GPU into this, contracting your GPU and earning the money each month, you're also gaining the benefit that all of us coming together allows us to get more devices or more power, which essentially allows you to earn even more all the way to financial unplugging. How that will look, we're not sure yet. But one thing that we strongly feel with this is that the home, it's got a boiler, it heats up water. You have another room which does mining, which unplugs that house. Can it happen for everyone? I don't know. I don't think everyone in the world could mine. This is why LBTC tries to keep things a bit secret. It doesn't make it as open as many other things, because the simple fact is we have to make sure that we don't get the difficulties outside of too much. You know, if we do it in a controlled manner, we can build things in a good way. And the future should prove an amazing thing, but our focus right now is to build up a big enough team and a big enough amount of people who are financially unplugged, who can go on to help the world. You know, so work online, do what you can, and you know, we build this thing over time and see what becomes of it. I want to wish you all a happy Christmas. This is quite an amazing time. You know, we've just gone through 6 months of building the London Bitcoin Bank, and you know, we've got this time to just relax with family. And I wish all of yous and your families a happy and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope yous will stick around with the London Bitcoin Bank. Before closing, I want to give a few tips. Um, how can you really gain big in the London Bitcoin Bank? This is a big question that some people ask. Shall I get a new GPU? Shall I change to ATI instead of NVIDIA? I don't think all of those are needed. Gradually, because GPUs are getting less and less, it's not the right way to go. It's like changing one shovel to another. What we really need is the amount of people so that we can have that power there, simulate these bigger devices and go with those. And then it helps propel things forward, so we're always up ahead and achieving more and more. Okay, so if I don't suggest getting another GPU, what do I suggest? What are some tips? You can get an ASIC straight away. You can get an ASIC and perform better, but it is important to consider the main process. You know, mining together, it makes it possible to achieve more than by yourself, or you need loads of money and you have to keep sustaining it. You have to risk. In this case, you're not risking. You put your GPU, already bought it, and you earn money. So mine consistently, you know, don't just mine one off. If you just mine for a few weeks and then you leave it, it's not going to benefit you. The best thing you can do is use it to help propel you forward. And like what Gareth says, he wakes up, he puts on the computer, it starts mining, he prepares for work, goes online. You know, you're working at home or wherever you're working, and it becomes difficult to have a discipline. And one thing that the London Bitcoin Bank provides you is that discipline where you can start your mining and you get into that routine of working and mining, and it becomes a natural thing. So that's called dual use. You know, you work, you use your computer, and you're also earning money at the same time. Participating. By participating in other ways, it gives you room to become a cornerstone. It gives you room to show your skills, your talent, and it also allows the project to propel forward. And that is important, because when we look at something as financial unplugging, you know, 5,000 years, humans have worked in a way that is, you know, like the ox that used to pull, you know, pull the plow and help the farmers plant the seeds, etc. You know, today we're finding in the London Bitcoin Bank that it's possible that your technology or technology itself can benefit us in a way where we don't have to directly be doing the work ourselves. And we've seen such things like you can get a spreadsheet and have thousands of figures and it can all do it in one go. So it's helped us to a certain extent, but it can help us much more. And the London Bitcoin Bank is exploring these things. So participate. If you've got the skills, if you've got spare time, then consider putting your bit to help build the project more. If you're not sure how to help in those ways, then message us or go into the forums. There are sections and you can just put up a post, say you've got these skills, and we'll have a look at what you can do and get you started. And some ways you can just do things, like we put up a link or get the job link where you applied for the job, and tell your friends about it. More people will get into it then and stick around, more better we can make this succeed. Something that I think people are missing out on really with this is understanding the process. We're testing something which is very advanced in the future. And if you just look at that base result, you might not be too happy. You see, it's the end goal that we're looking at, which is the main factor, the financial unplugging. And that requires, to get something like that, it's worth the investment. Because if we can free humanity in this way, or at least a small portion, then it's made all the difference. And if you're a better human being and you're helping move humanity forward, that is something amazing, and it can make a big difference all around the world. Social enterprise projects. Now, I haven't seen anyone put up social enterprise projects, and this is the amazingness of what you can find in the London Bitcoin Bank. You have skills, someone else has skills, someone else has ideas. So the social enterprise projects allows you to have an idea or to have skills, go in there in the forum sections for social enterprise projects and say, I've got an idea for this, whether it's Bitcoin related or something else. For example, it could be making a film, and you get all different people in different skills and they do it, or a game. You want to create a game, so someone comes up with the idea, then someone else comes up with, I'm a coder, I can code, and someone else comes with the graphics, etc. And what ends up happening is the project happens. And Try Million can work with organizing that, or you can organize it yourself. It's up to you. You can do it with the company or without, it's up to you. But that is there for you. If you've got the skills, if you've got the ideas, just go in there, put it up. You don't know how long it's going to take. It might take a day, or it might take weeks or months. But someone with the skills or the ideas might put something there, and bam, there's a massive combination to make something amazing happen. And I want all of you to focus on these kind of things, because financial unplugging isn't just about money. It's not about the money side. It is about helping humanity have a way of thinking, an ethic that considers group-wise thinking rather than singular competitive thinking. And by removing all of those aspects, humanity can move forward. If you watch the Peru miners situation where they're all stuck down underneath the ground, usually in the past people like that would have been left. There's no way to access them, leave them in the ground. But what ended up happening, because the way our humanity is coming together, and NASA and other companies all got together and spent over $1 million to make a device that can go in there and get them out. And I'm sure you saw, as many people around the world saw, that they managed to free these miners, all because humanity came together. So the London Bitcoin Bank can do a lot for humanity, and it requires these initial steps. Right now you participate, and your participation is, you bring your GPU, you participate. At the same time, you're working online, and these help gear you in the right direction, whereby we can think in more unity rather than a separate basis. And if anyone has a problem with peace, then you shouldn't be a part of the London Bitcoin Bank. Okay, so I wish all of you a happy Christmas, and I look forward to 2014 and what we can do with the London Bitcoin Bank together in win-win. Create a great year. Happy 2014.